Well, hello, everybody. This is Colson-Eyre, and it is April the 12th, 2020. And today is Easter. And so I will tell you that I did something that I have never, ever done in my 57 years. And that is eat. Let me turn off this over here. Hang on. And that is eat nachos with chili cheese nachos for Easter lunch. Never. And so Brad and I, we watched our church online, and I watched Elevation Church first, and I watched our church, and then I sat there and we had it from my iPad, and I thought, so then we started looking at pictures from the Top Director trip, the first one that he and I took together in Maui. And I watched this whole video, like a slideshow of us zip lining. And then I went through a bunch of Mary Kay pictures and then old Easter pictures. And I'm just like going through on my phone and look up, and it's 2:30, and we're hungry. So we go in there, and I said, I do not feel like cooking a bunch of stuff. So we had some chili left over from this last week, and we had some chips, and we had some loose, Mexican cheese. So that was our Easter dinner. I normally like to have peas, rice, ham, biscuits, sweet potato casserole, a squash casserole, like from my mom, and some, really good desserts. So I did miss that. And so then our church wanted us to get dressed up and take a picture and put it on our church Facebook group page, like Happy Easter. So I went, took a shower, put my makeup on, put this dress on, and we went outside and took, 5 pictures of ourselves. And then we came back in, and I thought, what could I do? So I went to buy a puzzle. And I thought, I'm going to put together a puzzle. But I did not know that, like toilet paper, you can't find puzzles. Like literally in Walmart, there were a few baby puzzles, like there were 100 pieces, then there was like a Bob Marley or some kind of something puzzle. And I thought, I don't even want that when I'm done with it. No offense to Bob Marley fans. It might not even been him, but anyway. So I finally picked up this abstract 750 piece puzzle. And I thought, let me do that. I haven't put a puzzle together in years. I mean, probably like before Mary Kay. So I would say more than 35 years, maybe. But I always was a good puzzle maker. And so here's the thing about puzzles. First of all, praise the Lord that Jesus rose from the dead. Let's just go ahead and say that. He died on the cross on Good Friday, and the only reason it's good is because he took all our sins on him. And Saturday, the whole world cried and waited, and on Sunday, he rose again. So that's the good news of tonight. And if you don't hear anything else and you've never heard the good news, you know what? Praise God. Praise God for our Lord and Savior. And so I should have started off with that instead of the puzzle story. But anyway, very thankful for him. I'm very thankful for my family, and I know you guys are too. We never knew a month ago that we would be doing this at Easter. Remember, we all thought, we'll be over by Easter. That was the goal. Would have been so awesome. But you know what? I think more people probably worship today online than any other Easter, or even worshiped at because in times of stress and distress, people turn to the Lord again. And you can see that all in the Bible, how that happens. And so I fully believe we're going to come out of this thing as better people. Some of us, if you just kind of look around and think what the positives are. And, one of the positives is that when you rip your nails off and you paint them yourself, you save $50 every single time you do it. So, I mean, Sayla was talking about how nice she can put her contacts in just like that. She don't have to scratch her eyes out. So, there's pros and cons. You can type a lot faster with no nails. And so, we are going to come through this, and we are going to get to the other side. And this is not forever. So y'all just, because sometimes you think, how long is this really going to last? I'm ready to get back to normal. Now I've tried to have a good attitude, but I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm ready to move forward. And I know we all feel that way. And if you're like me, there was this thing of the stages of quarantine, and it was the pictures of Medea just cracked me up, of what stage I was in. And so I just, some of them she's trying go out and shoot somebody. Some she's laying it out on the couch. And anyway, it's hilarious little meme to me. And I know if y'all are like me, you've been in all the different stages. And so one thing about Mary Kay is it does give you a little bit of normal business when someone calls and places an order, because then you're like, okay, I'm still in business. I still have a job. And so, I had some surprise orders this week. I had a girl call and say, do you have any satin hands left? I'm a housekeeper and or cleans houses or offices for a living. And she said they just pure out cracked and bleeding. And someone gave her a satin hand set, a little one. And so she was just trying to find another one. It was her sister gave it to her, and the sister didn't know the person that got it from. Anyway, whatever it was, she couldn't get a hold of that girl. I'm like, yeah, come on over, And so I've had several orders this month that have been kind of surprise orders, and a couple of new customers. And so I want to encourage you that people still are buying products, and a lot of people have a little bit more money because they're not spending all the money they normally spend going out to eat, getting their nails done, getting their hair done, and gas. They're at home. So they're like, maybe I'll get on Amazon. Well, instead of that, let's get them on marykay.com, right? And so make sure you get your messaging out there in a lot of different ways, on your customer page, on your through email with your customers, texting your customers. And I don't mean wear them out, maybe ideas about different products. And I think that's what's been cool about our live Facebook parties that we've been having. It's information about products that some of our customers and even consultants probably don't even know we have. They didn't even know we had a body scrub. They didn't know about subtle tanning lotion. They didn't know about the After Sun gel. And we did that this last week. And so, I think it's been very informative, and I think it's been very helpful. And our customers that are just maybe buying one or two things now can see everything that we have. So don't give up on that. And don't give up on the one-on-one Facebook parties, and the one-on-one are like the Facebook party just with, a hostess, where you would just set up a group. You put your hostess in there and you have her invite her few friends, and you go to that one group and you do your Mary Kay party. And when it's over, you delete that group or just leave it there, whatever. You can go back and forth with them, but that's how you do a Facebook party. It's not real complicated. It's almost like the same thing. If they have samples, awesome. They can go through it with you. If they don't have samples, you just do it, So like Thursday night, we're going to do it where we go through the Hydra session. And so we'll probably just do it from here down as to not scare people. Now, if you're a younger lady, you might not give a rip if you have no makeup on the top. And anyway, do what you want to do. It doesn't even matter. There's no rules, So I just want you to encourage you not to give up. And I want to applaud you for plugging in, because those of you that are plugging in every week, here's the thing. You got to feel encouraged, even if you didn't learn anything, just to be with people and see someone other than your husband and your kids. There was this funny thing I saw today. I like funny things, and this lady, she was older. Well, she's probably like 60. I don't know. She was in a closet with a flashlight on her face, and she was talking about how her husband was driving her crazy, making her watch Planet of the Apes, all 5 episodes. It's just some crazy stuff. And so, you know what? It's good that we have each other. We have a break from our quarantine home, right? I feel that way anyway. I always feel better after being on here with y'all. Like, okay, here's some new people to talk to. Brad's getting tired of me talking to him. He's like, can't you find somebody to talk to besides me? Probably, So anyway, thank y'all for plugging in. And so someone asked me, no, this is paparazzi pink. And someone asked me what color my lipstick was. It's kind of bright, but I thought, why not? Okay, so what I want to do, and then I'm going to let the directors they're going to just say something that's worked for them in the last few weeks as far as their Mary Kay business. What's something that's worked for them? Because we're all going through it together, you guys. And all of us, this is not something we've always done. I mean, it's new. It's new to all of us. And it's almost opposite of what we learned. Because what have we learned? Face to face, face to face, face to face, face to face. And now it's like, get on the internet, So it's really tough. It's tough doing things different. But on the other side, we're going to have 2 skills. We're going to have our face-to-face skills, and then we're going to have our Facebook skills. So you're going to have like a whole new way. We should have double the money as soon as this stuff is over, right? Double. Okay. So I want to read you. This is my little book that's called A Dream Come True, 30 Years of Compassion, 30 Years of Inspiration from Mary Kay. And there was one that was on compassion. And, I've just seen a lot of people do for others. And Sally was talking something she did today, and also had a friend of mine and her neighbor, they do music at their church, and they set up all the speakers and everything, and they gave the whole neighborhood a program, and they did a whole 1 hour service, and people just were in their golf carts, in their cars, and she said there was about 50 people there. And I thought that was amazing, and I said, Brad, we should have done that. Anyway, we didn't. But so I'm going to read you a couple things of how Mary Kay Ash, our founder, what she thought about compassion. So the first thing, it says, we all have a gift for mankind, a gift that means nothing at all until it is given away and passed on to another and shared with those we meet. It is love and compassion, a kind word, a kinder deed. Compassion is a smile in a harsh world that sees too few of them and remembers every smile that lights up its days. It says, a bell is not a bell until you ring it. A song is not a song until you sing it. The love in your heart was not meant there to stay. Love is not love until you give it away. And then another one says, I shall pass through this world but once. Any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. So when you see someone that needs something right now, and I know we're not out and about a lot, but it may just be you see a post, and it may be someone you don't even know very well. If you feel a little tugging, just reach out to them and say, I saw your post about your cousin, and I just want to say, I'm going to pray for that. Or if I saw that you're lonely. I mean, whatever it is, maybe just look for one thing a day that you could communicate with someone, to just lend a helping hand. It'll make you feel better. And Mary Kay was so good at that. So good at that. Okay, this is a little thing. It's from Emmett Fox. It says, there's no difficulty that enough love will not conquer. No disease that love will not heal. No door that love will not open. No gulf that enough love will not bridge. No wall that enough love will not throw down. No sin that enough love will not redeem. It makes no difference how deeply seated may be the trouble, how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you can love enough, you would be the happiest and most powerful being in the world. And when we're thinking about Easter weekend and we think about Jesus' love for us, how much did he love us that he redeemed us? There's no greater love than that, right? Then it says, I love you not only for what you are, but what I am when I'm with you. I love you not only for what you have made of yourself, but for what you are making of me. I love you for the part of me that you bring out. You have done it simply by being yourself. After all, perhaps this is what being a friend is all about. Okay, and then I'm going to, let me just kind of glance over here. Okay, I'm going to read this one. This is from Mary Kay. Some of these are Mary Kay's favorite quotes, and some of these are from Mary Kay. This is one of Mary Kay's favorite quotes. And it says, I have a little exercise that I use on the days when I wake up and have a feeling of inertia, and it works like a charm for me. Maybe you'd like to try it. I thought it was pretty good advice today. It says, I simply imagine that this is my very last day on earth. And believe me, if this was your very last day on earth, you wouldn't spend it lying in the bed. You'd be up and about doing anything you could do to make this the best day of your life. You'd be kinder to those you meet, more considerate to everyone, and every word would be measured with care. Isn't that great? Our founder was a wonderful lady, you guys. She wasn't just out there all pink fluff that wore big blonde wigs. She just had a heart, and that's really it's how and why we all loved her so much. And all of us that really knew her, that really got to meet her, and those of you that have just watched some of her videos, like at the summit, the Super Summit, when they showed her video, you can just see why we followed her, but she followed the Lord. So she wasn't doing it so she could be so popular. She was very, very humble. And I just think we're blessed. So I'm not going to read them all right now. I'm going to wait and I'm going to read some at the end. But I think that one of the things, I guess, that my tip that has helped me is once I get up and get going, is in my mind, I just try to pretend that all this stuff isn't going on. And I do what I normally would do, and that is read my Bible, do my little devotional. And I've been trying 3 or 4 times a week to get out and walk about 30 minutes. I should do more, Selah, I know, but anyway. And then, make the bed, take a shower, put your makeup on, get your clothes on. And the other day, I almost didn't do it because I thought, I really don't have anywhere to go. I don't have to do a Zoom call today or any kind of Facebook Live. I might just take this day and not do the makeup, which would not be like me on a normal day. Okay. But for some reason, I went ahead and did it. And I want y'all to know that I had 2 or 3 different customers come by and I had to actually see them. Some different things like that happened. And so I thought, you know what? Just get up and put your makeup on. You're going to feel better. And then if you want to do a video or you want to reach out or you want to do a Zoom call, you're not going to feel like you won't resist that. You'll go in your office and get some stuff done. So anyway, just try to keep you a little routine going during these next couple of weeks, and that will make you feel better, because it's nothing worse like really just laying in the bed, because then you just turn over and you're like, is it time to eat yet? We're going to get fat and lazy if we don't get up and do something, right? So that's my first tip. Okay, so Jana's up here first. So I'm gonna go ahead and Jana, I unmuted you. Why don't you go next?
All right. Sounds great, Cleta. Okay. So funny thing is I just watched a deal on 60 Minutes. There was a therapist on there that said to avoid depression in times like these, you need to have a routine. So Cleta, thank you so much for going through routine. So I'm not going to talk about routine because we already know what routine is now. And those little things matter. And so also he said too much social media and news is not a good thing. And so, right, back that off a little bit. But also I would add, do what sample packs or what samples can you get in the hands of your clients, and post something on Facebook. I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm doing these virtual makeovers, but you know what? Even the people that didn't do a virtual makeover with me tried the products and I followed up with them. When I followed up with them, you guys, I'm selling miracle sets. Yesterday I had like $180 sale or something like that from someone that I had dropped off like a skincare set and then a mask, charcoal mask, and microdermabrasion. But then when we started talking after I followed up, she did not contact me. I contacted her back. Follow up is key. And so I contacted her and said, hey, how did everything work? Oh my gosh, I'm glad you contacted me. And then so she wanted to try a foundation. So I went through and asked the questions, and so I could kind of get her closely matched, took some samples by, and this time I included color samples and like a color card and a mascara. Most of the stuff she bought was color. Seriously, I would have liked her to buy skincare, but anyway, it was mostly that color, that mascara, that foundation. So anyway, just follow up, you guys, and get back in the zone.
Mm-hmm. That's my tip. Yes. Thank you, Jana. And hey, before I forget, I want to remind everybody, because she reminded me when I was just thinking about customer service and samples, is the preferred customer program for the summer. The deadline to register for that is April the 17th. So it is going to be this Friday. So all you have to do is go to In Touch, go to My Customers, and make sure that they're updated with, any customers or friends that you want to send a book to. It's 70 cents a piece. And there's a sample inside of it. And then you just go to Business Tools and you see Preferred Customer Program, click on it, and select the customers that you want to send it to. And right now you might just want to send it to all of them, because everybody's at home, and where a lot of times people are busy and they don't really look at the mail that much. Right now, they might actually open mail. I mean, I'm opening, advertisements that I don't even, truck advertisements. I don't even need a truck, right? You're like, what's in the mail? Let me look at something. It's like your big day is walking to the mailbox, right? So don't forget that. Sign up for Preferred Customer Program, and then it'll give you a reason to follow up, because those books are going to go out in May. And I'm sure with the Lord's help, we're going to be on the other side of it. But still, I think it'd be a great time to remind people that you're still in Mary Kay. So don't forget about that. Jana, that's awesome. And I love that follow-up. And I did the same thing, handed out some samples. I didn't do a virtual makeover, but I handed them out. I followed up the next day. We had to tweak a little bit, went back, and ended up selling about $100 to her. So, and she goes, and when I ran out of cleanser, she bought foundations and color. And she said, when I run out of this cleanser and all this, then I may switch and try it. I'm like, okay, awesome. So thank you, Jana. Awesome. Okay, Sayla.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I have a few things. Number one is you need to, like Cleta said, exercise every day. And, that just makes you feel so good. If you just get your tennis shoes on and go a little bit, it really will get you, it changes your thinking. It's like taking a drug, really. If you just get out, listen to the birds sing, listen just for a little bit and come back. And then I would, like they were saying, I would get dressed every day. I get out like today. My husband said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm cooking Easter lunch and I am getting dressed." So I put on this pink dress with my cute little wedges. And because, it was Easter Sunday and I just wanted to celebrate the day. And I get up and get dressed every single day and I put my shoes on. I know that sounds crazy, but when you get dressed, if you're just walking around your house in flip flops, it makes a big difference if you will get dressed and put on good shoes like you are going somewhere, because in your mind, you need to be going somewhere. You may be at home, but when that customer calls, it is a great idea. If you are dressed, you just feel like you are still in business. With your customers, if you will, I know they gave some tips on, to get new customers, but with your current customers, if you'll call and say, "Hey, Cleta, I was just checking in on you and wanted to know if you're having any issues with your skin. And oh, by the way, we're doing a virtual makeover session every Thursday night." I have gotten a lot of new business from my current customers because they have been on the Thursday night virtual makeovers. So, like I had one lady last week call me and say, "I want a time lapse repair set."
Wow.
Yeah, and she watched us on Thursday night do perfumes. It wasn't like we were talking about time lapse repair. And the other thing I would say is do get outside yourself and don't think about yourself and what is happening with your business, but do for others. Like I was saying earlier, I turned on some praise and worship music this morning and I just blasted it off my patio. And I was out there singing by myself, but it was just my worship time with the Lord, but I did it for our neighborhood. And then when I was at the track, I go to the track and walk every day around this big block. And yesterday, as the Lord would have it, I saw this man drive up in a van and I thought, I don't know. Anyway, I watched him, because there are other people out there, but you're kind of by yourself. So I watched him and he came across the street and he went to a trash can and he looked in the trash can, and then I kept going and I came back. And by the time I came back, he was gone. Well, I came around the block again and there was another man on a bicycle and he looked in the trash can and then he was going to another trash can, and it's a park where there's usually a lot of people that throw things in the trash can. But now there's not people in the park throwing food in the trash can. And so I got in my car and I said, "Okay, I'm going to go get some money." I didn't have any money with me because I'm not spending any money anywhere. So I went and I got some cash and I came back and the man on the bicycle was gone. But if you will look for the opportunity, the opportunity to help others is out there. And it makes you feel really good about your situation when you can reach out and help someone else. So that would be my biggest tip, is to look for ways to help others, because you are really the hands and feet of Jesus when you do that. And that's my tip.
It's a great Easter message, Salem. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Larry. Well, no, let's go Latrice and then Larry. Latrice, you're up, sister.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good.
Okay, so I have been living life as normal as possible. So I get up this morning and get dressed for mass, and everybody's like, "Why are you getting dressed?" I'm like, "Because I go to church on Sunday morning." So anyway, we have Facebook Live, and you just have to try to stay into a normal routine. And so that is my goal, is to stay into a normal routine. And real interesting today, a friend of mine shared this, and I don't know what year this was, but back in the day when there was malaria, this same situation is coming around again. And this was so important. When I read this, I was like, oh my gosh. She said, no matter your circumstances, the only time that is truly lost in the time you wait, the only thing that is truly lost is the time you forget to live. So we cannot forget to live. We have to get up. Yeah, there's days when I'm like, where am I going? But you know what? Staying in that same routine and living life to the fullest, because we can. It's just a little change right now, but we can still live to the fullest. And so that really resonated in my heart today. And I was like, wow. But I just want to say, y'all, I have a brand new consultant. She had a party for me in February, and in March, well, actually in February, I talked to her, about being a consultant, and she was contemplating it. Anyway, she joined the last day of March. She got on the not the Boss Babe call. Well, she's on there too. Anyway, she got on the Facebook Live with Cleta. She also did the Unlocked call with Dawn Alton Sweeney. This was before she was a Mary Kay consultant, okay? She joined Mary Kay. She had her guest join Cleta's skincare class, the Facebook Live. She sold enough product to become a qualified consultant, and she is doing her own Facebook Live Tuesday night. I am so proud of her. Carrie Reed, she sent me her outline. She is super excited.
For Carrie.
I know.
I had to take a pause for Carrie Reed. Okay, go ahead.
She is just amazing. Anyway, it just shows you that you can work this business. And I know that we're in such a different circumstance right now, but we are preparing ourselves. I mean, actually, y'all, people have been working Facebook Lives for a while before the coronavirus, right? And so this is just giving us a new skill that we probably should have already been trying out. But anyway, we're kind of forced to now. But y'all, my customers are loving it. They love getting on. I have different ones that I'm inviting on Thursday nights, and I'm going to start doing my own. But I have been getting on my own private Facebook group with my customers and doing little tips. And y'all, they're excited. I'm like, okay, you can't think about, like Cleta told us a couple of weeks ago, don't worry about your hair. Don't worry about what you sound like, because they already know that, right? But anyway, I just appreciate you and everybody on this call, because it is very inspiring. And just to get on here and socialize with everybody, but y'all really follow up with your customers. They not only count on you, they need to hear from you, because they need some inspiration, okay? I did send out samples to people I'm going to follow up with tomorrow. And they're just super excited that they have us too. So y'all don't think that people don't want to hear from you, because they do. They need you. But I just want to thank y'all. I love getting on here, and thank you and Selah and everybody for doing the Facebook Lives, because it has definitely changed my people in my unit. So thank you.
Oh, well, we're so glad you get on them. It's a lot more fun when you got a lot of exciting comments. So anyway, that's why I decided, see, I have a Facebook group, but I wanted to have an open one where other people could join too, because it's just nice to have a new consultant say, listen, all you got to do is just get some people on there. right? Just get some people in there to watch it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Latrice. And your unit has set a great example for the rest of us on how to get on and get a bunch of guests on there. So thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
example on that. Okay. Larry?
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking I was having a little issue. My suggestion is to do kind of like what Sayla talked about last week, was just doing some checkup calls for, I have several clients that are kind of older, and yeah, I've got kind of a mix, but especially the older ones, just trying to go systematically through and call and check on them, because one of the ones that I delivered to recently, she was afraid she might have it. She had some of the symptoms, and then her husband was getting sick. And so just following up with people and showing them that you care and really want to know how they're doing just makes such a big difference down the road, and then some of the other customers just generally just calling and checking in with them to see how they are, and just reminding them, it's like, look, I'm still in business. I can drop something, I can mail something to you. So just reminding people that, we're not like the other big box stores that have had to close down. We are still working and can still take care of them. So that's what's been working really well, because I, for one, and I kind of joke with them and laugh a little bit. It's like, I can't, even myself, I'm having like withdrawal. I'm like, I really just want to go to a store and buy something. I'm like, and I don't need anything other than groceries right now. But I'm like, oh, if I could just run by Big Lots or Bell's Outlet. I mean, I don't need anything, but it's just like you want to do that because you just don't realize how much you do it in the regular course of your life. And so I'm like, and so I joke with them and tell them, it's like, girl, I'm having withdrawals from shopping. And so I want to be sure and meet that need for you. So but anyway, you can just laugh about it and joke about it. And it's a way to generate sales, but also just to connect with your customers. So and then as far as the whole quarantine, Sayla will be proud. I did a walk today. Ken and I got out, and he has a little measuring thing because, the first time we walked just around like the pond in the back of the house, and we're like, surely this is a mile. No, it was 0.3 of a mile. And so then he has a little measuring thing. And so we went the whole perimeter of our property. And so it was almost a mile. And so then we went up and down the little circle out the street that we live on is a circle, it goes around in the back. But so then we measured it too. So if we do the whole perimeter and up and down that street, it's like 1.5 miles, 1.75 miles or something. So it's like, but we had walked the whole perimeter like 3 times and then did the road. So we are starting. But then as far as the quarantine, one of the things that I really have felt like today is, until before all of this, one of the things that I say, and Clea and I laugh about it, is like, I just don't have time, because I said one time, I'm like, look, my time is my most valuable commodity because it's so limited. I'm like, and so now we joke about how valuable my time is, but it's like, what are some of those things that I used to always say, I don't have time for that. And so I'm like, have I done those things? Not like I should have. And so that is my goal for the week, is like pick 3 of those things, and I've got them in my mind what I want to do. And some of them is doing more reading. And that's one thing that I have started doing, but I need to do even more of it as far as leadership reading and just flooding your mind with good and positive things. But even those things that you're still procrastinating when you have a lot of time, instead of Netflix series or scrolling Facebook or whatever, let's do something every day to better yourself, be it exercise. And, really it's best to do it in 3-fold: physically, spiritually, and then with your business. And so that's my challenge for myself. And if you want to join me in that challenge, is let's find 3 things this week that we can proactively do everything to invest in our spiritual well-being, our physical well-being, and then in our business. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Loree. And I just heard something this week, and it said, if you come out of these 2 months, however long we're going to be, sheltering in, quarantine, and you didn't do the things that you talked about you didn't have time to do, then really it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of self-discipline. So you have to just admit it, that those things that we all say, well, I just don't have time. It's just really not that important to you, because when you do have time and you still don't do them, it's your priorities are messed up. So
Exactly.
I'm working on that too. And yes, so we all just want to be like Selah. That's all we can say. But anyway, Selah, you're a good example to us. You shame us to walk, but we need it. Okay. Oh, look at here. Miss Janet Holloway. Janet, I'm so proud of you. Hang on. Let me unmute you, girl.
She
Just
might have had, if you can't hear, she was having some problems with her audio.
Oh, okay.
And I've been trying to help her troubleshoot. So if we
Yeah,
can't
Janet,
hear
can
her-
you hear us, but we can't hear you? What you have to do is you have to go down there to your little microphone at the bottom left-hand screen. And there's a little up arrow. Y'all, this is a little training for you. There's a little up arrow by the microphone. You click on it, and then you have to put in, select a microphone, and it says you need to put built-in microphone. That's all you got to do. So you just hit the little, where it says the little microphone at the bottom of your screen, and then click the up arrow. Then it says select a microphone, hit built-in microphone. Is that checked? Yes, that's checked. Okay.
She was having like some browser problems too. Like
Okay.
she was getting some error messages actually trying to go into it. So she
Okay.
can see, but so she's got the video part fixed, but there may be
Well,
something else.
You know
It
what?
wasn't
We'll just
supported.
let her. Listen, Janet. Wait a minute. There she is. So look, y'all wave to Janet. This is one of my beautiful offsprings. You can't hear her, but isn't she pretty? So Janet, we'll work on the sound next time, but you look great. Thanks for coming on here. All right. And so we'll stay on a little bit after the program and we'll get it working. Okay. So, okay, let me see who else is on here as far as our sales directors. So glad to see Janet. Awesome. I know Rosie wasn't going to be on here. If you're a sales director on here and you may be on a different, Katie. Okay, Katie, what are you? If you'll unmute yourself, Katie, I don't see you on here.
Hey.
Okay, there you are.
Okay.
Anything you'd like to share?
So, just something really quick about what I've been doing the last few weeks that's been working for me. I had posted about the pampering packs. I'm sure you guys have seen those, or the swag bags or the glam bags, whatever we're calling them. And I had something really cool happen a couple of weeks ago, and then it happened again just over the weekend. So I had a gal just contact me directly after I had posted about these glam bags that I was putting together, and just a sample pack to send out to whomever. And then I just say, you know, offering 30 minutes of stress-free time during this difficult period that we're going through. And I had a gal share the post and then tag people in it. And then I gained 9 new customers because they've all ordered from me. I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised. But then this last weekend, I had another one of those things happen, but it was an old customer who, like, I would say she and I probably got together right after I became a consultant, almost 8 years ago. And she had purchased skincare from me and some makeup, but then she totally disappeared. And so anyway, she resurfaced on Facebook, like so many people tend to do sometimes. And she said, hey, I love what you're doing with these pampering packs. I know that people in my circle would really enjoy them. Do you mind if I share your post and tag you? And I said, of course. And since then, I've had 5 ladies say that they would like a pampering pack. And how I'm doing it is I'm booking them for a video facial. So I send it to them, but I don't give them instructions on how to use it, just to kind of hopefully ensure that we definitely do the video facial, and then just talk to them about each product that they're using. And I just do skincare and one of the exfoliants and a little bit of color, like a lip gloss and some eyeshadows. Keep it pretty simple. But I've just been really excited to see the response that I'm getting from people that I haven't talked to in a long time. And that has spurred me to, like what Larry was saying and what so many of you have said, is check in with your people, like just show that act of love. And I love, Selah, what you said about being the hands and feet of Jesus and of God, because we truly are, and we can really utilize our business to be our own ministry if we really want it to be. And right now is the best time to do that, as good a time as any. And so I have, since watching people respond to my own business and what I'm doing and me not even reaching out to them, it has caused me to go back through my customers and really touch base with them. And I've gotten some better responses than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of voicemails, but people are answering their phones, and they're still, they're still wanting to chat because we're all quarantined. So anyway, I just encourage you guys to put yourself out there. I knew it would be a cost thing with the samples, but it's not that big of a cost. And especially when you can gain a new customer, when you can bless her by sending her these samples and helping her to pamper herself. And then also, you might have some sales, or you might book a virtual beauty experience. You might even have a potential new team member, which both of the ladies that shared my post, I am interviewing both of them actually tomorrow. So, because they see how easy it can be. So really just one of the things that, another thing that I'll say is we had a meeting on Friday, and it was with some other directors in the area. And one of the ladies said, don't forget how simple this business is. Try not to make it too bigger than yourself. It is still a simple business. We are in the business of P&L, people in love. And don't ever forget that. Even if we can't touch them, even if we can't see them face to face, we can still reach out and connect. So I don't know why that opened my eyes so much. And so this weekend I've been reaching out to people. So that's all I have.
I'm so proud of you. And you know what? This reminded me of your customers, like giving you a little shout out on Facebook. And you know how if you are in a restaurant or a hotel, or if you are, maybe you're doing some kind of a tour in a town, something like that. And, they always tell, like, especially if I'm doing a tour or something, they're like, hey, find us on Yelp and give us a good review. They say that all the time, right? And so restaurants, they always have a comment card, or, like even if you open an app later after you use it say, you like Zoom, give us a shout out. So it's okay. And it's very businesslike to not only ask for your customers to give you a shout out. That's okay. Kind of you feel funny about it, but if you think about business and you think about how it's done, your best source of advertisement is a satisfied customer. So like yesterday when this girl came to pick up a satin handset, it's funny because I didn't know who she was. She had my, I was a friend with hers on Facebook, and I actually thought it was, I thought it was somebody else. And so she came, and then I said, are you, because I actually thought she might be a consultant before, and she wasn't. And she goes, no. And she told me how that she knew me and everything. And well, anyway, she never bought anything from me before. She doesn't use Mary Kay, but she wanted this satin hand. So I said, you know what? I said, not today, but would you mind do me a favor? I said, like later in the week, will you hold up your satin hands and then just get on Facebook and tag me and tell how you like it? Because she was telling me how much she loved the satin handset and how her hands were bleeding and cracked and almost, and like how it just like helped them so much, and she couldn't believe it. I mean, she's so excited. So, I mean, it's like the best advertisement I could get. So I want you to, when you get a satisfied customer, and I've done this for my neighbor that I just sold to. I said, hey, do you mind getting on there and saying something? She goes, no, I don't mind at all. And so it's okay to do that. I know it seems a little funny. That's like saying, well, you go like my picture. I mean, that sounds kind of crazy. But if it's something she's telling you she loves about your products, say, hey, would you mind getting on like Facebook and doing a little shout out on that lipstick that you like so well, and then tag me on it, and maybe put my website. And so y'all, that'd be a great way for us to do maybe this week. Maybe just pick like 5 of your favorite customers that you love and they love you. Like there's 5 that I know I could call right now and say, hey, I need a favor. I'll even tell you what to say. Or just say, look, can you share my website with you? Or can you share something that you're doing just on Facebook, or something about your Mary Kay lady, and say, I'm just trying to get some business, but as a we are not allowed to do a call to action on our own personal page, but all the friends and customers of you can share me Does that make sense, y'all? So I'm sure you can figure out how to do that. So I'm going to try to do that and just get some little word of mouth referrals, just like I would ask her in person. Like if we were out talking to friends, I would say, hey, tell your girlfriends that you like our skincare because I'd love to get some more business, or, about write their name and number. So I'm just asking her to do the same thing, but to do it on Facebook, or her social media. Okay. Okay, you guys. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read just a little bit more in my little book. Okay, that just really kind of wraps this stuff up today. It says, your smile may be a little thing, but it produces big results. So it says, I took the time to say hello to someone that I didn't know, to someone who was walking by, a look of sadness in her eyes. And when she smiled back gratefully and said a warm hello to me, I realized my little gift had given both of us a lift. You never know just whom you'll meet throughout your day on any street. People just like me and you with loneliness and problems too. Yet life is always better when we take time to be a friend to someone we don't even know. All it takes is one hello. And the last one in this chapter of compassion, and this is for Mary Kay in her little book, it says, you are the one who has done it all, deserted your castles and let them fall, smothered the spark of ambition's fire, shut off the current and cut the wire. How do you know the die is cast? How do you know when the crowd goes past? Who'll be the leader? Who'll be the last? How do you know? Life is not merely a game of chance, and you're not a victim of circumstance. Nothing's too hard for a woman to do, providing, of course, she wishes to. Wishes it more than a miser's wealth, more than invalid longs for help. Works for it, prays for it, night and day, feels that no price is too great to pay. How do you know till you strive that way? How do you know? And, Mary Kay was always one that said, that nothing's impossible if you're willing to pay the price. Now, are we talking about sacrifice your family or anything? No, because you got to remember her values were to put God first and put her family second and then her career third. And so she worked and she made it happen. And she thought, if you want it, you can have it. And that's why on June 30th, you will still see women that have become sales directors, that have won free cars, that have won the top director trip, that do million. You'll still see it in spite of Corona because they have already decided, I'm not going to let Corona get me down. I'm going to keep plugging on. And I just believe the Lord is going to, we reap what we sow. And, we're the seeds we plant, that is where we're going to grow. And if we are planting no seeds for 2 months, when we come out of this, it's going to take a long time to get back going because we'll have become lazy and we will have formed bad habits, sleeping way too late and staying up way too late, right? And eating way too much. And so we got to get a grip on ourselves. And you know what? If you've been doing that, it's okay. You know what? Shake it off. It's a new day. I mean, we've got 2 months, 2.5 weeks before the end of this month. We can make something of it. So I'm proud of you guys. Everybody that's on YouTube that's watching today, everybody that we got a bunch of people on Zoom as well tonight. So thank y'all for that. And, I'm proud of y'all for plugging in when you could have said, it's too late. I'll watch it later, And for those of you who are watching it later, I'm proud of you for watching it later. You know what I'm saying? So this is a no condemnation zone because none of us have ever been through something like this before. And we hopefully won't have to go through something like this again. But I'm very proud of each and every one of you that have stayed plugged in to me and to our Boss Babe calls and to your own sales director and to your own customers and to your own team. So I'm just challenging you, just like Loree said, let's do something, mentally, physically, spiritually for your business this week. And let's see what we can do to make ourselves a better person on the other side of this, and don't beat yourself up if you've had a come apart at some point. It's okay. Everybody does every now and then, right? We're all human. So thank y'all for calling in. I'm gonna unmute everybody. We're still on live and it's still being recorded, but I am gonna unmute. But if there's a consultant that maybe has something, I just got everybody on the Brady Bunch here. If there's a consultant that has something that you'd like to say, to an encouraging word, if you would like to just pop out and say it, we'd love to hear from you real quick. Okay, everybody's unmuted. Anybody got an encouraging word?
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. Thank you, Sandra.
Welcome.
Okay. I know Sandra's been getting up walking every day. She's not letting us get her down. So I'm proud of you, girl.
Walking. Yep. Whatever I can.
Yeah,
Before
that's
I go
right.
to virtual office.
That's right. All right, you guys. Well, listen, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great night. And we'll talk to y'all next Sunday night, but hopefully some of y'all we will see on the Facebook Live Hydra session party that Sayla and Loree and I are going to do, possibly Janet. Get Janet fixed up. All right, you guys, have a great day, and thank y'all so much. Yeah, and some of our people are on tornado warnings tonight, so y'all be careful wherever you live. It's coming through like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. So last thing I saw, it says before you go to bed, go ahead and have a plan. I'm like, sleep in my clothes. That's the plan. Just sleep in my clothes and maybe sleep in my shoes. I don't know. Maybe sleep in the laundry room. That's our inner part. It has all the food and we can be clean. So anyway, charge your phones. But we'll be praying that everybody is safe through the storm. So you guys have a great week, and I look forward to talking to y'all next Sunday.
Okay.
And,
Everybody.
thank you.